Happy Sunday, Sooner Nation, Surgeaholics. Welcome to the Sooner Surge podcast that tells it like it is. I'm going to start with this comment by 918. And 918's not the only one because there's been so many of the Surgeaholics that have reached out via Discord or just chats through our YouTube post or Facebook Messenger. We've gotten a whole lot of comments from Surgeaholics relaying the same type of thing that 918 says here. And I just want to say how much we appreciate you guys out there that have been praying, that have been lifting us up, encouraging us with your words. Some of you guys sending some scriptures. And I tell you, it's a testament to the just genuineness of the Surgeaholic community, of you guys out there that reach out and let us know that you're thinking of us. Our dad's still not doing well. Got a lot of recovery ahead, but as long as he's here, he's going to keep fighting. And when the good Lord takes him, he's ready for that too. And we trust in God's sovereignty, Jay.
Well said. I mean, appreciate everybody big time. So means a lot. So, we can argue back and forth with everybody on here, but at the end of the day, it's just like family, man. Brothers, sisters, you can argue, but it's still family. So appreciate everybody big time. Big time stuff. And you know what? Big time weekend, Jerm. Let's just get down to it. Big time weekend for OU all around. Massive weekend. The baseball. I'm going to start baseball because 2 top 10 wins over the weekend. And I tell you, with the pitching staff they got, this team's dangerous, I think, this year, Jerm.
Man, today, 12 innings, a lot of playoff type atmosphere.
How about Jaden Barfield?
I'm not gonna say atmosphere because I thought Dell Diamond, overall fan support wise, I didn't think was just unbelievable. I may be wrong. I just didn't think it was that type of atmosphere. But when you talk about the play on the field, it absolutely was.
How about
big time moments?
How about Jaden Barfield? True freshman, never pitched, comes out there and he was pumped, man. Dude was pumped.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I like to see. And here's the thing. Here's what I got to say. We can talk baseball. We can talk basketball. And I am not going to tell anybody, believe me, I'm not going to tell anybody how to spend their money. But this week, OU baseball is going to be ranked and they're back home. The weather on Tuesday looks like mid-50s, low 60s. Great time to watch baseball.
Weak opponent, though.
I don't care who the opponent is, okay? And then follow that up the next day, Wednesday. You can argue it's the biggest game of the year for OU basketball. At home versus Kentucky.
Every game is the biggest game, okay?
Okay, but what I'm saying is Tuesday and Wednesday are back-to-back days where the fan support would be massive for these two teams. I just think if you can get out there at all, both of those are cheap tickets. I don't know. I just think this is the week that for basketball specifically, you can really, if you're wanting to make the NCAA tournament, it starts on Wednesday night.
Yeah, and softball, another win. They beat TU 8-0 on the run roll. Today they win in 7 innings, 8-1 against Wichita State. Pitching has been great. Seen a lot of good things. They haven't been tested as much as teams in the past early on, but they're going to get their test. So just a lot of good things. But, Jay, still, of course, the men's basketball. And by the way, the women won by 40 today or 50.
Yeah, they didn't play a very good team, but they destroyed them.
No, but they dominated. Jenny Bronchek's got things going on. But, again, elephant in the room, the men's basketball team isn't dancing yet. And the football program, everyone's waiting and seeing. And I saw what KB sent in the Discord about. He went and watched a lot of the Sooner Surge lives the last couple nights as far as those back during the season and kind of got a theme of all of our takes based on those post-game reactions. And a lot of things haven't been addressed, Jay, that we thought might be addressed. They just haven't. And we're talking about guys like Joe John Finley, DeMarco Murray, tight end room specifically. And again, the caveat with the tight end room is Mitchell going to be what people think he might be? It's just, it's too hard to tell.
Well, and it's not only that. I think some of the guys that got out of the portal, specifically at tight end, Can they be better? Can they be better than what what you see? Because they're not very highly touted. So everyone has Bauer Sharp in their mind. That's just until you see something on the field, that's what you're going to be thoughts. I saw the comment, I think Sooner Freak asking about Thunder Surge lives. We will pick those up as it gets closer to playoffs. To be honest, I'll just, it's not feasible every night with that, but it is something we're going to pick back up. We will be doing them. I'm probably doing them a couple times a week, but it's just not going to be after every game. So,
formerly known as JoJo MC Part 2. Actually, this is a massive if. Okay, this is a massive if. But if they win their 2 home games, they're absolutely going dancing. You want me to go, hey, remember that, Jay? They would if they win their home games, they're going dancing.
Jeremy, it doesn't matter.
I'm going to say this, and this is similar to the BV stuff. This is similar to the BV stuff. With the Porter Moser stuff. Look, Porter Moser, I've been so critical of. Just so critical of. And rightfully so. He hasn't been good at OU. But every part of my being wants to be filling out a bracket with OU's name on it. I said this yesterday on the live show. Anyone out there that says, well, I just hope they lose so Porter Moser's time at OU can be gone, forget about that. That's ridiculous. I want OU in the bracket when I fill mine out. I don't care who the coach is. I want OU's name on the bracket, on bracketology. I want it on Selection Sunday. I want to see it go across the screen, Oklahoma. That's what I want to see. I don't care who the coach is. That's what I want to see. Did I cause Jay to freeze? Wow, I must have. Do I pick OU all the way? Yes, I pick OU all the way in my one, which is a pick from my heart. And then I do my actual picks where I usually pick a lot of 13 seeds, sleepers, all that. So, yeah, Ron, I get this. Every night you say this, Ron, I understand. There has been a difference in the two. There is absolutely a difference in how Porter Moser's teams have been beaten compared to Oklahoma football teams. I just think there is a difference, and I'm talking about getting beat by 30. I will say this. The team fought pretty hard yesterday. They fought hard. Absolutely did. And likely so, Ben. Likely so, but regardless, even though they might get bounced, I still want them there. Don't know where you've been, Jay.
Something happened, man. I don't know what happened, but I got to say a comment I was trying to get to, and something happened, but it was about the OU basketball Wednesday night. Kentucky, first trip to Norman ever, okay? And no matter what you think about Porter Moser and what he's done in Oklahoma, this is your chance to win a home game and have a good chance to make the tournament. Get there, get a W. It's not going to be an easy game, but Mississippi State wasn't an easy game either. Here's the thing. This team rides and dies, in my opinion, with Jeremiah Fears. I think he has to play well.
Obviously.
And ball's got to be in his hands quite a bit because, the other night, 10 assists. That's what I've been saying he needs to do all year, be a facilitator and pick his spots, okay? That's what he needs to do. And Porter Moser said it in the postgame. That's when he's at his best. Hey, Ron, I get it, and I saw Gray God's comment. Who cares about the difference when there's the same results? Well, this is Porter Moser's 4th year. But correct? To be fair, you were on Porter Moser and you were on BV year 1, Jerm. I got taped on my phone of you yelling at me about he's not. You were already on BV.
I've been very critical of BV too.
Yeah, so
the close games and it's different in football because you have an OC and a DC, and there's some of that involved. I think, yeah, Okie Long guy. We talked about it early on. Just a great two wins against ranked opponents. Virginia, an unbelievable team. OU showed some grit.
I'd be willing.
Tough things.
I'd be willing to know people's thoughts on this baseball team as far as, to me, you go back to that run they made for the championship, the pitching staff. This pitching staff they have this year is, pretty dang good, man. I mean, they got a
it's really
staff.
good.
Even hit today. I mean, what was up with that?
And another pitching staff that's elite is the women softball team. Sam Landry. I thought it was cool what she's doing for the NIL with the glasses. Did you see that? That's true NIL. BV got railed by South Carolina, Texas 2 times, LSU, TCU.
Fair.
Yeah, he's had his share. He's had his share. I'm not denying it. And I see the comment, and I want everyone to understand this right now. Jedi Master 6717, listen up. I, Jeremy, 100% agree with you, Jedi Master. Porter Moser needs to be replaced. I agree. Yet, I still want OU to make the tournament this year. I want them to make the tourney. In fact, if they make the tourney, I want them to go all the way. And then if that happens, Porter Moser won't be replaced. But I'm not going to sit here and say, well, they won, therefore he's back. No, he never was here. Hasn't been great. But I do want them to make the tourney. Even the game yesterday, down the stretch, it was a debacle. It was a debacle. They almost blew a 14-point lead.
Yeah, it does. They got the win. And you look at their 2 home games, Kentucky, they're gettable at home. They've struggled some on the road this year. You look at Missouri. Missouri just lost to Arkansas. And Arkansas, by the way, is playing pretty good. I mean, they almost beat Auburn on the road. Arkansas is getting it together. I'm glad OU got Arkansas when they did.
Hey, shout out to Daniel Carver, an elite YouTube comment earlier about unequivocally, unambiguously. I mean, Daniel, that was just golden, man. Keep it up. What else is going on, Jay?
Germ, I mean, spring practice getting closer for football.
John Mateer is very visible at things.
Yeah, you're kind of in the middle of a lot of things here because you got softball and baseball that you're getting to see them in action, everything, but they haven't really been. Now, baseball has been tested. Softball, I wouldn't say to the extent, but you haven't got the conference play yet on those two. So you're waiting to see what they do in conference. Both conferences are big time SEC. And then you got basketball coming down the stretch. Here's the thing about basketball. This year is so eerily similar to every other Porter Moser year. And if you're going to be the last
4 out, first 4 out.
Well, they're right on that brink. And every year it seems like the last regular season game is a make or break. And you know who it is this year? It's in Austin.
The team Porter can't beat.
And I think that's going to be the game. He's going to have to win that game because I think here's what I'm guessing right now. I think this. I think OU basketball, I think they split between Kentucky and Missouri. They get one of those. I think they lose at Ole Miss, and I think it's coming down to Texas to get that 6th win and get in. If you look at the bubble, go look at it. 6 and 12, in. You're in at 6 and 12. The bubble's weak. The bubble's not
which is
good.
Absolutely sad.
It's crazy, but I think 6 and 12, you're probably in.
Hey, and I'm seeing some of the comments about the Witherspoon brothers, unbelievable. Jackson Phillips home run today. Kyle Branch has been unbelievable to start the season. They're Kyle Branch, Scott Mudler, Kyson Witherspoon, Easton Carmichael, all names of the all tournament team. Thanks, Okie guy. I mean, it's the best start to a season for OU baseball since winning. By the way, we must say, OU lost a great coach in baseball yesterday, Enos Seymour. I think he was maybe 93 years old.
94, something like that.
Yeah.
But, hey, what is the weakest spot on that team, you think?
Man, they're good defensively, too. I don't know, Jay.
You know what? Willett's not playing very well right now.
He had a home run today, Jay.
Had some defense. I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
Hey, you know what's sad, though, going back to it? 6 and 12 get you to the dance. That's sad.
Yeah, but that conference is so good.
But that's sad.
Yeah, but you say it's sad, but throw a team from another conference in there. They're probably going to have 6, 7. I mean, it's just there were years. I don't remember. Go look, though. Hunter can look this up probably. You remember when the ACC was dominant in basketball? There were years like Virginia. Some of those teams were like, I think they got 6-12 in before.
Okay,
I'm
but
not
Jay,
sure.
but what I'm saying is it's similar to in football. It would be similar to football. Everyone in the conference that went 7-5 made the playoff.
And it's different because there's more teams, but it's different.
What do you mean? Yeah, I get that.
It's different.
Hey, Ron, I'm not disagreeing with you, man. Like, I am so sick and tired of it, dude. Jeez. When have I said he should have gotten another year? Nope, not me. I said playoff or bust, if you remember. And then earlier this year, I said he needs to be gone unless he gets rid of an OC or they finish out. And they didn't. They got rid of the OC. But I don't understand what you want every single night, dude. Like, what do you want?
And I agree with this. 7-5, he's staying. I think 7-5, he's staying.
Playoff or bust. I've said it.
No, I don't think so. I think 7-5, he's staying. He wants a rant, Jerm. They want a rant.
He got one, didn't he? He got.
Hey,
one.
let's open up the phone lines tonight. Let's go.
Open the phone lines. Ron won't call me. Ron won't call me. I'm here for you, Ron. Give me a holler. The phone number is 918-666767. Okay? It's 6767. You got it? 6767. I don't know why you would. I thought you liked calling in, Ron. I'm here for it. Bring it. I actually agree with you, Ron, so I'm not sure why every night you put that in there. Anyway, if BB loses more than 5 games, I think he gets fired. Yeah, look. I've said playoff or bust, but I would probably say 8-4. He's going to be back. I think that's the only way. And I think 918 said it earlier. The fact that Joe John Finley, Joe John Finley, does he work for the Secret Service?
That's a great question, Jeremy.
I mean, Joe John Finley.
But what do you expect? What do you expect?
He's MIA. What's he doing?
What do you expect to get from him, Jerm? Is beat him both MIA?
He's not on the recruiting trail that I've seen. He's not on the recruiting trail.
Is Jay Valai MIA?
Yeah, he's MIA too, Jay.
It's all coaches are right now, Jerm. It's not. They're not even started spring practice. Come on. Jeez.
I'm curious about Mitchell, Jay. Because
what are you curious about? I mean, he should be a freshman this year.
I don't know. I saw a clip of him running. I don't know. I think he doesn't look in great shape to me.
Where are you basing this off? A Twitter post?
Workouts, yeah.
I haven't seen a whole lot on workouts, but
coaching witness protection program.
Possibly. Who knows, man? Who knows?
Hey, what one thing we haven't talked about is Kevin Wilson. We did talk about, but Kevin Wilson coached tight ends.
Yeah, but Jeremy? He's not coming there to coach tight ends.
Maybe they are sliding Joe John Finley.
Oh my gosh! Here we go. No. Hey, one thing we did kind of talk about before we went off for a few nights was we were talking about the playoff expansion. If they end up expanding down the road, these conferences like Big 12, ACC, they can whine all they want about, the SEC is going to get a guaranteed 4 in. This new thing they're talking about, the Big 12 and ACC would be a guarantee of 2. You take that any day of the week if you're those two conferences.
Oh, any day of the week.
Like the Big 12 is locked to get 2. You could be happy if you're Big 12. I mean,
yeah.
So, yeah, band's back together again.
Back again.
Hey, phone line. I think Hunter dropped it, didn't he?
I don't know. I don't know if he did.
There it is, right there.
If you'd like attention. Check out the Fan Stop.
Big week.
Thefanstop.com. Check it out. Sign up for the Shirt of the Month Club. It's too late to get the March Shirt of the Month, so you get the April one, and it's elite too. You know why? Because they all are at thefanstop.com. Check them out, please. Use code SURGE. Get 10% off your first 3 months.
That's right. Hey, Sooner WX, Glad Wilson is back. I think it's a good hire. but I think we'll wait and see how it goes and how he's utilized. But I don't see
I'm going to
anything
say
wrong with
this because I've seen. I know what the narrative is. Okay, look, I've been a Sooner fan for about 47 years. Actually,
Well,
not for about. That's how old I am. I've been one since I've been in the womb. Okay, I'm going to say this. I know the narrative for OU fans. I've actually been part of that narrative. I've celebrated that narrative many, many years. And only a few times in my life have I taken a step back and not been a part of that narrative. And here's what I'm saying. It seems to be OU fans, and I don't know if it's this way across the country, but to me, you kind of wave the caution flag right now. And I know that's not what's happening across most of the OU fan base. A lot of OU fan base right now is giddy. And I'll use that word, Jake, giddy about all the things that happened in the offseason. Giddy about the Kevin Wilson. I like the Kevin Wilson thing. Giddy about Arbuckle. And by the way, I like the Arbuckle thing. Giddy about Giovanni Gibson and Satania and Lewis and Daniels and Marvin Jones Jr. and John Mateer. And guess what? I'm giddy about some of those guys and Derek Simmons. But guess what? You got to caution a little bit, I think. And there's a lot of people that aren't doing that. And the reason you got to caution is because BV is still at the helm. And the biggest issue in my mind with Brent Venables has been his inability to win close games. Now, sometimes close games are won because you have elite quarterback play. I get it, and they haven't. Sometimes close games are won because you have a play caller that knows what play to call. I get it. I understand that. Those two things hopefully are fixed. But at the top is still BV. And they haven't proven that they can win any type of close game under BV. So, yes, I'm hesitant.
So you're saying you're optimally, what's the word?
Cautionally optimistic.
Cautionally optimistic. Okay.
And I'm not even going to say optimistic. If the schedule was different, maybe a little more so. I do think a lot of the games they've lost have been real close games. That you can flip that switch. You can flip that switch pretty easily. You can flip that switch if you made the right moves.
With a good quarterback, yeah. Hey, 918. I agree with you 1,000% here. I'm with you on this. Arbuckle.
Yes.
Arbuckle brought in to call the offense. That's what he needs to do. Wilson, help with whatever BV needs help with on his side. Game, whatever it is. I agree with that comment, 918.
Well, Joe John Finley's not going to have a game plan.
Yeah, Urban Meyer also believed it was a good hire. Agreed. I saw that quote.
I think Urban wants on as an analyst.
This is a great question. I thought about this today, actually, Okie guy says, what do you suggest marketing should do to get the LNC packed for Wednesday's game against Kentucky?
Okie guy and I already talked about it. It's over. It's over. You know what needs to happen right now?
Free tickets?
Free tickets and free canes for everyone in attendance.
No, here's the thing. I don't even care if you sell the thing out. You don't even have to sell it out to fix the marketing of it. You know what it is? There are everything's general. Everybody only lower bowl until it's full. You're not allowed to sit in the top until the lower bowl's full.
I got another good idea. You ready for this, Jay? And I guarantee you I'm getting in. I promise you I am. You know why? Because if they did this, before you enter the game, you got to go in a little closet thing, and you got to lose your mind screaming. And if you can't do it, you don't get to go sit down.
Oh, please, Jerem, come on.
Get raucous. Even if there's 4,000 people in there, if they're loud, it's a difference maker.
Wait, so Hunter, you're saying they won't do it because they'd have to walk a little bit to go to the concessions?
That's what Hunter's saying.
Hey, what is the score on the Thunder game? Does anybody know? They were up 10 earlier. I don't know what the score is. Somebody update us on the Thunder score.
Jay,
and you're right.
The other day, the other day, the fans were sitting on their hands. People were shooting free throws. I looked behind. You can see fans back there. They're just chilling.
Yeah, and that would be the reason they won't do it is the donor seats. And by the way, golly, I guess the T-Wolves had a great second quarter because they only had like 20 points or something.
It was 41-26.
Yeah, so there it is. 30-9 run in final five. Wow. Hey, Jedi, I'm not sold that this would happen. And we'll find out. You know what?
It will. Jedi's right a little bit.
To a little bit, but it wouldn't. If that's true, why won't baseball stadium this week just be sold out on Tuesday night, Jerm?
I think baseball with baseball's what they did this weekend. I think
you're stuttering. You're stuttering.
All right, you go ahead, man. I'm done, dude.
What? You're done? Okay. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but I don't think they're going to show up Tuesday night either. That was my point. He gone. I don't think they're going to show up Tuesday night for baseball, Jerm. Sorry, that's just my opinion. Okie wants you to preach, Jerm. What's up, Corrections? How you doing? Hope you're doing well, man. Good to see you on here. Hey, we got Porter Moser standing on the line.
What's up, guys? Can you hear me?
What's up, man?
Hey, man.
You'll be there Wednesday, won't you?
I will, for sure. Me and the wife are gonna make the trip, but I kind of just want to. I keep hearing fan support will improve as the product improves, but that's just not true. Like that's just it. It's an easy excuse for us to say, and I mean the fan support. Even when Buddy was there, man, it was like, you got your 4 to 5 games out of the year that were 75-80% full, sometimes
but you don't
closer to
have that
full.
this time. That's where I agree.
No.
If the product was better, you'd still have those 4 or 5 where I went to a lot of the Buddy Isaiah Cousins games.
Yeah.
You were there. There are better crowds than there are now.
No, I don't disagree. And like I said, I think the Texas game this year, that's the best student crowd of the year, probably. The A&M game was probably 60%. But when it comes down to it, the product was good the product is inconsistent. I don't want to say it's bad. I think it's inconsistent because they put up almost 100 points against a Mississippi State team that had just beaten Ole Miss and just beaten Kentucky. So it's like they put up 90 against Vandy. Inconsistent, yes. I don't think it's bad. But I just don't like that. Oh, it'll improve it'll improve due to sheer excitement for a new coach for, a couple of months, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, if it starts going downhill, it'll be the same thing. So
I agree with you. It'll improve. Like if they were better this year, tomorrow a Wednesday night's game would be a better crowd, but it's not, and it's not even just the crowd, like the numbers, it's everything about it. I personally, I don't like the student section where they sit at Lloyd Noble.
It's terrible.
I think they need to revamp a lot of things at Lloyd Noble. But
the other thing,
the crowd just doesn't care right now.
But the other thing, guys, outside of, Dayton Forsythe's the guy I think people would rally around. Jeremiah Fears was unbelievable the other night, but there's just not personality-wise guys.
They're all new. They're all new, Jerm.
Well, I'm saying personality-wise that is getting even the crowd involved. Like, I think there needs to be, and you know what I mean. Look, Duke Miles losing his teeth on the gym floor. The crowd recognized that. That kind of stuff should be happening every game. Not losing your teeth, but at least giving that kind of effort.
But I do think, at the same token, like last year, but to Jay's point, that's college basketball anymore. You've got an Oklahoma kid, obviously, like you said, Dayton. He's easy to like. Sam's an Oklahoma kid, but we know how we feel about that. But
he's easy to not like. I know.
Yeah, right. So I don't know. They're gonna have to. I'm fed up with the marketing around it. I know everybody's annoyed with Porter, and I get it, but the marketing surrounding the program is just horrendous, right? Just like that Oklahoma Athletics tweet. It's like gym, softball, baseball, and
I saw
women's basketball. I'm like, you just beat a top 20 team in your building Saturday, and you can't. You've got probably the biggest game of the season coming up Wednesday, and
sure.
no $2 beer announcement, no 500. The first 500 get in free. Students get in free T-shirt or free what? There's just no creativity, and there hasn't been for years.
No, there hasn't been. And here's another thing. I get it. I mean, I'm a big OU basketball fan. I'm ticked they have not made the NCAA tournament. But you know what? Now you have 4 games left, 2 of them on your home court. If you win your 2 home games, you're going to the freaking dance. What are people waiting on? Get out there. I mean,
just like this.
I don't care that they haven't played good the last 3 years. You have 2 games at home. If you win them, you're in the dance.
Just like this guy calling me an Aggie. He loses big games. Well, they did beat number 1 Bama on their home court. That was Porter Moser, right? That was 2 years ago when they beat the number 1 ranked team in the country by 30.
No,
I mean, let's not the narrative that he's never won a big game at home just isn't true.
Yeah.
No,
You can say
no,
no, I don't disagree, but we can say, oh, he never wins big games at home. That's just not true. I mean, we just want to take this year and just run with it. I get it. I think there needs to be a change too, but the narrative that he doesn't show up in big games isn't necessarily true. But anyway,
here's the number one reason why.
Hunter's saying $2 the rest of the season, Jay, concessions.
Okay, well, that's good. Hey, here's the number one reason, in my opinion, why OU fans don't show up right now. And I think it's they don't like Porter Moser, period. I think it's a they don't like the coach. I think like
he's a likable dude too.
Well, that's the thing. That's what's so weird about it is I think since he got there, he's done everything he could to get this.
Go watch his presser.
He does all this stuff to get him, and they just what is it? They just don't like his personality. I don't get it.
It's not softball, and they're not winning championships, so it's kind of like we're out.
To me,
just like baseball.
Jay, I've said it before about Moser. Some of it seems like a facade. I get that he's really real, though. I understand that, but people have been burned because they thought a lot of the guys. I think the biggest issue with Moser, I've said it before, he can't keep players. Guys that were here, guys like Brady Manick, who played their entire year at OU, they bail after playing for him for a year.
Okay,
but that's just landscape. Outside of a few players, I get that, but that's just generic landscape of college basketball.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Here's what's crazy. And here's what's crazy about this. If you take one game, one home game, just one home game in the 4 years Porter Moser's been there, take one home game each season against a good opponent and get it fielded to the arena and you win it, he's made the tournament 4 years in a row at that point.
He's also lost games when they've had good.
I'm just saying he's been on the verge. Like, what would the narrative be right now if they were going to be in their 4th consecutive NCAA tournament? It's one game every year he needs.
Well, and people want to like his first year. Like we can throw everybody's like, oh, BV didn't have the players his first year. Like, oh, he didn't. Like we're gonna give BV that pass, but not Porter that pass.
He had Elijah Harkless, Jalen Hill. He had guys.
No,
Lon left that cupboard so empty. That recruiting class was horrendous. Lon's last year.
Yeah, it was
like we want to give
recruiting class.
Lincoln only took 3 guys to SC. I mean, I don't.
There's a difference. Here's the difference. Brent Venables is an OU guy. That's why he gets a.
It's a pass.
Jay, has Porter done a good job recruiting, Jay? Hey, Jay, here's my other issue, guys, and I don't want to sit here and lose my mind every time because I'm happy they won the other day. But Caden Cooper, he's recruited 2 or 3 good guys and didn't even play him at all, and they left.
But I think Caden Cooper, if you want to speak on that, though, the dude
he should have played last year.
He should have, but look where he ended up. Like the guy wasn't.
Hey, Porter Moser.
He got benched.
Go down the list. B. John Cortez ended up at Wichita State. C.J. Nolan, North Texas. I mean, the guys.
Both long guys.
Mason's the leading scorer at Arizona State.
But Alston Mason left before Kruger. He left the year Kruger left.
Yeah, I think it was. I agree. I think
so. I don't know. No, there's problems, and like I said, I'm not sticking up for the guy. Like I do think there needs to be a change, even if he makes the tournament. I don't think he'll stay, just because I think he has seen the writing on the wall with the fan base and with maybe the administration as well. But
I'm with you. But here's the thing: if this was I hate to compare this to high school, but if this was like a high school basketball game and you were a big high school fan and your team had a chance to make the playoff by winning a home game, freaking thing would be full.
They just hate him. People just don't like him and like I said, he's not an OU guy, and people are just like, the narrative is, oh, he never wins big home games, he never does this, he never does that. So it's like, well, I guess that the narrative has been pushed so hard, and it's it is where it is. I mean, it is what it is at this point.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey,
thanks for the
thanks,
So,
call.
man.
anyways, thanks,
Appreciate it.
guys.
Thanks for calling
Thanks.
in, man.
Hey, and
Have
Jay,
a good night.
really what needs to happen is before Wednesday night, they need to make a media post, and they need to post Ryan Humphreys tipping against Arizona. They need to post Buddy Hill's team, the run they made, Hollis Price. They need to post Eduardo Nahara getting stitches against Mateen Cleaves and say, hey, Sooners haven't been dancing in a long time. Help them get there.
Yeah,
Phil the
that's
LNC,
kind of
that should happen the next 2 days. It should be posted all over everything.
Here's what I get really kind of frustrated with. Okay. And I know it's not an OU football monster. It's just not. But football, and I get it, it's different. You get scene setters, you get during the week these hype videos for the game for the fans to get excited. There's in Porter Moser Stan and Oakland, they're right on this. The marketing for OU basketball is not good. It's not.
Hey.
And what would you think? And I want your opinion on this because I know you're not a big fan of Porter Moser. I know that. We all know that. Okay, get it. What would your opinion be if Porter Moser at his press conference tomorrow, Tuesday, comes out and said, just rips into the fans and say, get out there and support? Would you be happy about that or would you hate it?
Right. I wouldn't mind them trying to get people there, Jay. Hey, I've got to interrupt because I saw Matt Rhodes' take, which is sometimes I get on there and I say, man, that's a bad take, Matt, but this one may have taken the cake. I mean, what about Nebraska? OU's in a better situation right now than Nebraska, I would say. The worst blue blood program in the history of football. It depends
It's
on
what
not good
season
right now. I'm not
there
going
was
to say it's great right now.
There was a time where Penn State was pretty bad. I mean, if you win,
and I agree with Chief. Welcome,
if
Chief.
you win,
I agree with you.
You can criticize the fans.
I agree with you. I tell you, if a guy who's losing most of his games comes out and criticizes the fans, he looks ridiculous. If a team's winning games and you're criticizing the fans, and I'll give you an example. The Notre Dame coach, Jay, did you see the Notre Dame coach Shrewberry the other day?
Yeah.
You see what he did?
I did.
I'm taking names. I'm keeping receipts. What's going to happen? And what's funny, he said, when we start losing, and he goes, I mean winning. It was hilarious. He said, when we start losing, I mean winning. That was hilarious. Like I sat there and laughed. You're losing. Don't talk about it now.
I get it. Okay. I know this might be taken. People may hate this comment I'm getting ready to say. I know you will. But I was watching a little bit of the Kentucky the other day, and they're ranked like number 16 or 17 in the nation. Do you know what their record was going into in the conference? Do you know what their record was? I don't even know if did they win or lose Saturday. I don't even know.
I think they lost. They're 7-7, aren't they?
No, I think they're 6-7.
Okay.
They have what? 2 more wins over OU? 2 more wins better than OU?
What's your point?
My point is the margin of error in the Big 12 over the last few years in the SEC when you get into conference play is very small.
Hey, what Jackson says is great because it's coming from a student. Jackson is a student, and he's calling out the students. It's a debacle.
I don't think OU basketball is as bad as people think. That's kind of where I'm getting at. I think it's because they if you go look at their losses, other than there's 2 games they need back that they just couldn't lose. And it was the LSU game and the A&M game at home. The A&M game, and they would be sitting right now with 6 wins.
They're in. They're locked.
And that's what I'm saying. The margin of error is so small. I think some people think like OU is so far off in basketball in the SEC when, yeah, they're not playing well, but at the same time, like the conference is, if you go look at, I think they have 5 or 6 losses in the conference over teams that are going to be seeded 1 or 2. 1 or 2.
Yeah. Hey, and what Soonerthron says when Kelvin Sampson was there, he says he was on a project where they met with Coach Sampson trying to market the basketball program. But here's the deal. The biggest complaint when Kelvin Sampson was there, Jay, I want to see if you know it. What was the biggest complaint when Kelvin Sampson was at OU? Go ahead. 3 words.
They couldn't score. They would go on these
style of play. That's what the complaint was then. And now that style of play is actually coming around because Houston's still playing that way, and they're in the Final Four, and they're probably going to be there again this year. Michigan State plays that way. They've always played that way.
Hey, Aaron says, does anyone think a new arena further away from campus? No, I don't think students will show up. I don't. I still want the new arena. I'll tell you that right now because I think they need it. But I do not think it's going to help students show up.
Even at football games, the students aren't the raucous. Like, to me, it's just.
Yeah, and I don't want to get
I
off.
will say this. I will say this, though, Jay.
Yeah.
See if this makes sense. And no, I'm not stuttering, but see if this makes sense. Students across the board, no matter what sport they're watching, if the students show up to football, baseball, basketball, softball, if they just show up, okay, they're going to be the same. Your football crowd's a little different than your basketball crowd when we're talking about those who aren't students. Your basketball crowd is different from the baseball crowd. The baseball crowd is different from the softball crowd. There is a difference in those, but think about the 70,000, or let's just say 60,000, okay, football fans, and disperse those into other sports. You should still be able to sell out every game and have a raucous environment of those fans who love that sport. The students should be the foundation on every single sport. They should be the foundation, every sport. And then you piece it together with the passionate fan base of the basketball program, of the softball program, of the baseball program. All of those usually like the football program, but you should be able to get enough of them.
Well, and like Okie says, Thunder's not playing on Wednesday. They're away. But I don't even know if it's a home game. I think people like to watch them on TV and just don't go to the OU game. I think there's a lot of people just sit home and watch TV. Hey, I think we got a call.
Chuck, I'm not saying go after the fans. That was Jay. What I said is I didn't see go after better. A coach who I was going with what Chief T-Bird said, and I agree with wholeheartedly. A coach that's losing better have no reason to go after the fans.
Yeah, and I don't think that's going to happen, Chief. It's just going to be in a different area. Hey, let's get to Jackson. What's up, man?
So I just think that with the students and stuff, what I was saying is they're asking for this winning product. All right. Well, for the baseball team, I know Hunter, he follows them like so much, but they just came off a massive weekend in Round Rock, Texas. There's no reason why Tuesday night students should not be at Elldale to watch the baseball team. Yes, I know that's the point. It's terrible. It's going to be beautiful weather. You have an Oklahoma team that's for sure going to be ranked in the top 25. They might jump into the top 15 with how they played. And I mean, there's no reason for them not to show up. Students, they get in free to every single sport except football.
I agree. I know. Yeah.
And I know a lot of people are saying, well, if the team would win, the fans would show up. Well, have you ever thought about how having home court advantage would help you win games?
Well,
it does.
The issue, but here's the issue.
I'm with you, Jackson. I'm with you.
There's an issue, Jackson. A lot of the students that show up to basketball or baseball or softball, they don't understand the game. They don't even know when to be loud. That's part of the issue. They're not passionate fan bases for those sports. That's part of the issue.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm going to say this right now. The majority of Oklahoma's, their fan base is not SEC ready. They're not.
No, and I got a great question. I got a great question, and this would be to everybody in the chat. And I already know the answer, and you shouldn't too. Everybody should know the answer to this because it's obvious. If OU had one home game at football left in the season, and if they win the game, do they go to the playoff? That's what you're dealing with basketball now. You got two home games.
You can't compare a monster versus a cricket.
Okay, I'm just saying forget if they're winning, whatever. If they win their next two, they're in the tournament. What else do you need to show up?
Yeah.
There aren't enough passionate.
So it's not about winning. It's not about winning. That's my point.
It's the fact it's on a Wednesday night. Yeah, it's the fact it's on a Wednesday night. Students, they get in for free. They're playing Kentucky, a top 25 team. Oklahoma has a chance to make March Madness. But $2 concessions, dude. Like, what else do you need?
Jay, but I disagree with you guys on one thing.
Hey,
it is some about winning. Because, Jay, it is some about winning. There are people in Tulsa where it's a 2-hour drive that are sitting there at home thinking, you know what? The way this team's played, I'm not spending money to go down there. I've got to get up for work. That happens. Whereas if a team was ranked top 10, they may say, and exciting to watch, they may say, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. That's true. That's a bad number, Hunter. That's a horrible number.
Well, I think
Hunter, I got a job for you. I got a job for you right now. You right now, behind the scenes, go back and find Buddy Hield's year and other people's year when OU was ranked really well in basketball. Okay, go back and look at Buddy and look at Trae Young.
They were ranked number 8 this year.
And find the average attendance compared to now.
They were ranked number 8 this year, Germ.
Please, everyone knew it was a facade. It's like the Masked Singer. It's like the Masked Singer. They're number 8 in the country. It's like, reveal yourself. Oh, it's OU with Porter Moser. They already knew who it was. Porter Poser.
Hey, let's get the Okie Long guy. What's up?
Oh my gosh. Can you guys hear me?
What's up?
I'm speechless. I don't know how to follow that actually.
Well, he turned his camera up from the very window.
I'm so sorry.
Hey, I saw your comment earlier. I saw your comment earlier about if you were in the 405, you'd be at every. I think there'd be that's what I don't understand. It's not about the people that have to travel and get there. It's the ones. There's a lot of people that live in the 405 that should be able to get a decent.
Let me ask him a question. Let me ask Okie Long guy a question, because Okie Long guy, you went to a couple games on Saturdays, right? Maybe in a week, but
yeah.
If this team was ranked top 10 and maybe had more personality there, whatever, would you be more apt to go to a game because of that?
No, honestly, to be totally transparent with you, it's the fact that I live in Tulsa. That's really the biggest issue. I mean, that's really the biggest issue. And just,
I agree.
mean, I know that sounds like a lame excuse because it's only, 4 hours round trip. But no, seriously, I mean, like, I told my son, I was like, yeah, if we lived in Norman, we'd probably be at every basketball game. I mean, I truly would. I mean, it's just like,
yeah,
it would just be like second nature. Oh, hey, today's Saturday. Oh, you're playing basketball. I don't even know what the record is, but hey, I would be there, you know. But like I said, man, I would love to go to the Kentucky game. But I was like, oh dang, when is it on? Oh, it's on a Wednesday night. That'd be hard to make out because games at 8 o'clock or by 10. I'm home by midnight. Got school the next day. Teacher, So I mean, it makes it kind of difficult. But some would say that's an excuse, though. So.
Well, no, I think you're kind of making the point, and that I'm agreeing with here is that this is not about winning or losing. This is about fans don't like basketball. If you liked it, you'd be there. I don't think winning. You have 2 games at home to win and go to the tournament. If you had any inkling didn't like basketball, you'd be there. The fan base doesn't care about basketball. I think that's the number one. The local fan. I'm talking about the local fan base in the area. They'd rather watch the Thunder on TV, Jeremy. That's a fact.
I think you're on point with what you said a few minutes ago. I think you were talking with Hunter about this. I think it is that we do have, and I think fans are too prideful to admit it, but I think that we have our fan base is too loyal to one sport. It's like we have this. You have your softball fans that are committed to softball. I have the football fans who are just football fans. We have the baseball fans who are just baseball fans. And like if somebody was asking you, said, "Oh, who are you a fan of?" "Oh, I'm a fan of OU football or OU baseball or OU softball." Fill in the blank. You know what I'm saying? But like when I tell people, like when people ask me, like, "Who are you a fan of? Who's your favorite team in college?" I'm like, "I'm a Sooner fan, man. Sooner fan. Like I'm just a Sooner fan." And I don't think we have enough of the. I'm just a Sooner fan. Like I'm going to go and support. I'm going to go and watch the basketball team. I'm going to go watch the football team. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I think about those days, like when I was in high school, I'd go travel to go watch. Like outside of I played football and baseball, so I mean, obviously, like I went to those, but like I didn't play basketball, so I'd go to the basketball games. I'd go to the volleyball matches. I would go to things like that. So it's like. I would show up for those things because that's just what you did. But it's like now we're just too individualized to a certain sport, and we're afraid to, for whatever reason, show loyalty to other sports. I mean, it's just weird.
Yeah, and I think that's why people think it's going to take somebody coming in here, either big name or fans, and maybe it will to get fans excited. Because I think right now, and I see Sooner WX saying he doesn't agree with me, and that's fine. I think you're right, Sooner WX, to a point that if they won, there would be more. I think me and Okie are disagreeing with that. If they won, there would be more fans there, but you're still not going to have a crazy basketball fan base. You have more than you have now, but it equal sold out arenas.
Oh yeah,
And
so I agree because it wasn't.
I think you hit it on the head. It's departmentalization of sports. I think there's a lot of people that do not care about basketball that love football. They don't care about basketball.
Which is why you can get 90,000 fans to show up for a football team who's 6-6. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
you telling me we can't just get a quarter of the football fans who show up to football games to go to the basketball game? The place would be packed.
It's sport. They're not passionate about basketball.
So what I think is we need more passionate Sooner fans, like just Sooner fans. You know what I'm saying? Like you support all Sooners. Like
there should
didn't
be
you
the
see
university. Think of the college graduates that went there. Yes, I agree.
I mean, heck, look at the like I wasn't there, but if I would have been in town, like I would have gone and supported the gymnastics. I actually watched it on TV. I was like, holy cow, this is awesome. I mean, the women's basketball, and people can't say, the team's not winning. Look at the women's basketball team; they're winning. They just completed
They're not showing up, and that's another reason they just don't. There's just not enough passionate.
Why aren't they showing up for women's basketball? Because they're winning. They're a top 15 team now. Going to probably been top 10, maybe.
Exactly.
They should sell more.
And they're getting ready to host a regional. They're a 4 seed. They're going to be hosting a regional. And you're going to tell me that when we host a regional, that place could potentially be only half full? That's going to be embarrassing.
Yeah, and thanks for the call, Okie. Appreciate it,
man.
Thanks,
Okie.
We'll see you guys.
Appreciate it. Thanks
Jay,
for calling. Go first. Go first.
I've got to address Hunter and 918's on the same key as I am here. Okay. Hunter, I kind of disagree with you on this in some extent because fans are having to pay. Now, if every game was free, absolutely show up for the team. When you're like 918 said, having to figure out where you're going to spend your money in a world where inflation's been high, people are. I mean, you've got to be careful about where you spend the money. I get that. But Hunter, to say, well, fans should still show up nonetheless. If your team, hey, I've heard you talk about Philly before. I've heard it. Should show up nonetheless. I mean, right? No, that's not how it works.
Well, real quick,
I'm waiting on the numbers, Jay. I'm waiting on the numbers.
Real quick, what 918 is saying, I agree with. I'm not telling anybody where to spend their money. There are people that will sell out. They'll go to every football game, and that's a lot of money, and they won't go to basketball game. That's fair. That's not what I'm arguing. What I'm saying is that the difference is you would think to get Lloyd Noble Center full, there would be enough fans that maybe that don't care about that maybe they don't go to football, but they just go to. What I'm saying is there's the 405 area. There's not enough people that care about OU basketball. I could care less. I'm not telling people where to go spend their money. I'm just saying you would think they could get more than 4,000 people now. That's all I'm saying. And then I don't know if you call that Chief Super, but thanks, Chief, for the super on the classic germ rant earlier. He went off the deep end there for a minute, but
they could do something crazy. They could do something crazy Wednesday night with the students, and they could get every one of them there.
Well, and I think that's where it starts is students. And Chuck says, just because you don't go in person, I'm not saying that, Chuck.
Bingo.
Germ, I'm not arguing that, though. I'm not arguing. I'm not saying that because you don't. I've only been to 2 games this year, basketball. Now, I have a 4-hour drive. I've been to 2 games, okay? 2 games.
How many fans were at the A&M game this year?
But here's what happened after the A&M game. You ready for it? And the Texas game. Well, here it is. Showed up to a game and they lost. Won't be back.
It's a fact, Jay. It's a fact. They blew an 18-point lead and then lost to their biggest rival, a team that they can't beat. I want to know how many fans were at the A&M game. I want to know how many fans were Trey Young's year and Buddy Hield's year, and let's start comparing them.
Hey, let's get
That's
to
something
KB.
for tomorrow night.
KB's on the line here to close out the calls for the night.
What's up,
going on?
KB?
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, man?
Hey, first of all, prayers to your family.
Thank you, KB.
Thank you.
Always, man. But
Thanks.
you know how some people watch TV and turn the sound down and listen to the radio?
Yeah.
I'm watching TV and got my front door open listening to Germ.
The whole neighborhood's hearing me?
Yeah, I live here in Northwest Arkansas myself. My front of my house faces west. I just opened my front door.
There you go. There you go. That's great.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good night.
Hey, thanks,
Hey,
KB.
thanks. Hey, the corrections facility, they hear me now, Northwest Arkansas. Man, this is great. Hey, doesn't an OU fan like OU in all the sports they play? Yeah.
No, there's people. No. Sooners WX right. There's people that will, as OU fans said, they like them all, but they might just say, "I'm spending my money for football. I'm not going to show up to basketball," and they watch it on TV, and that's fine. I am not bashing people for doing that. I'm not. What I'm saying is, you would think Oklahoma City, you could have a lot of people in that area at least to get enough to show up there. And here's another thing: is this. You know, you talk about there's the stats right there for the A&M game, 7,500.
There you go. Proves your point wrong. Go ahead.
Proves my point wrong.
When
That's
this
a horrible
team was ranked high,
atmosphere.
people showed up. 7,500, I'd take that every night as an OU basketball fan.
Oh, that's a horrible, Germ.
For OU basketball, that's a great crowd.
So what you're telling me is 7,500 people for OU basketball when they're ranked number 10 in the country. You're telling me that winning changes it all.
No, I'm telling you that's a lot. I'm telling you that's a lot more than there is now, Jay.
No,
is that true? How many were there Saturday? How many was there Saturday against the ranked
4,000. 4,000.
Okay, it's almost double when they were a better team.
What were they ranked? What were they ranked? Like number 8 or 9?
Yeah.
And okay, and they had 7,500, Germ.
Actually, I don't know if they were ranked 8 or 9 at that point.
So winning changes it all. So you're saying if they win and they're really good, they're going to get 7,500 people there. Woo!
Winning matters, though. That's all I'm saying.
60% field.
30% field. Winning matters.
They were ranked very high and they had 60% people in there.
And they're not winning and they have 30%. So, yes, when they win, they have more fans. That's all I'm trying to say.
Come on. That is not the argument, is if they win, are they going to have more? Everybody knows they're going to have more on if they win games. I'm not arguing that.
6,800 Saturday, yeah. And I'm 6'8", okay? Okay.
There's no way you're like 5'8".
That's the point, Jay. There weren't 6,800 people. There's no chance.
Porter was there. Porter Moser Stan. I wonder if he thinks there was 68.
Porter Moser Stan knows there weren't 6,800 people there.
Here's my argument. I was joking. Okay. Here's my argument. Is I know if they win, you're going to get more fans there. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying there aren't enough passionate OU basketball fans to show up to games, whether they win or lose. Winning doesn't matter. Stop with that argument. It matters
It does matter.
It matters to get them to 60% full, if that's what you're saying, yes.
Okay, yeah. There's more fans there when they win. That's all I was saying. Hey, man, this has been typical. We're back after 2 nights off. It's been a blast. We've missed everyone the last 2 nights. We're so glad to be back. Thank you so much again. As KB said, you guys that are praying, we do appreciate you so much. Thanks for the super, Chief T-Berg. Appreciate you for the callers tonight, for the comments. We talked a lot of everything, and we'll continue to do that as we go through this week. Tomorrow's a new week. It's Monday. Have a fantastic Monday, and we'll see everyone tomorrow night on the Sooner Surge. Take care, everybody.